Hey, my name's Izzy, this is Rolling Virtual Cards, coming at you with another Commander video. This time it's the top 28 drops, or actually, sorry, 9 drops in Commander. Here's my cat. Let's hop right into this. Take a look and see what the top 20 are. First off, we got Clone Legion. This is a 7 generic and 2 blue for a sorcery. For each player, or for each creature target player controls, create a token that's a copy of that creature. So this is great. This is your classic, like, win the game on top over your opponents. If your opponent's like, okay, I got this great board, I'm going to win next turn, you go, boom, Clone Legion, copying your creature, or copying your field. You just get this whole field of dangerous creatures that they had, whether they're tokens, or, like, oh, they got 200 tokens that they're going to win with, or, oh, they've got a bunch of cool creatures and they're an ETB deck. Well, let me get all these ETBs all of a sudden. So that's going to be useful. But on top of all of that, you really do just get this nice little feel of like, okay, this card's pretty useful to help me win against someone who's going to be running creatures. And you know in your pod, there's going to be someone running the big creature deck. Here's all my legend. This is my oops, all legendary commander. Let's Joda, right? Oh, cool. Let me just have all your legendaries. Thank you. Like, great card to do that. Now, the downside, the reason why this is sitting at number 20 is because it does require your opponents to have that. Otherwise, it's a dead card. What sucks is dropping this card at like 20 or like like 4, 9 when they have like 2 or 3 creatures. Now, sometimes those 2 or 3 creatures are going to be like worth it, right? You get 2 or 3 Eldrazi's, cool. That's not going to hurt. But other times, you're going to be messing with that. You're going to be losing that, like, little perspective. And that's not what you want. You don't want that, like, loss of cards. It's not great. It's not what you want. So, overall, that's not exactly what you're aiming for in that regard. But when it works, it really works. So it's sitting at number 20. I think it's perfectly fine there. I think it's a very fun way to just kind of, like, oh, you wanted to win this way? Actually, let me just win over top of you. So, I like that concept. But let's move on to number 19, being Reshape the Earth. 6 and 3 green for a sorcery. Search your library for 10 land cards, put them on the battle of depth, and shuffle your library. Okay, is this card good? Yes. Ramping 10 cards for 7 or for 9 isn't bad, right? Is it worth playing in decks? No. Except landfall. Now, we've already talked, if you watch my previous videos, which I highly suggest checking, because you can kind of see the arc and trajectory of what CMC means for Commander. But what Reshape the Earth is it's a landfall card. And landfall is such a popular Commander style, okay? Reshape the Earth is a landfall card. You play this on, like, I mean, if you're ramping in a landfall deck, you're probably dropping this on turn 6, 7. And you go grab 10 lands, and it's up to 10 land cards, any lands. One of them is going to be the Land of the Dead card. I forget the name of it. The one that gives you zombies. And then there's 9 other cards. And that's going to be 20. So all of a sudden, you're going to make 9 zombies. And then trigger, that's 10 triggers on any landfall thing. And if you've got, like, one of the two or 3 cards that, like, get you mono and land into the battlefield, cool, who cares? Let's just get a bunch of mono to do more things on top of this. This is a win con in landfall, and that's great. Landfall needs just a big blowout card to just win you the game, so they don't just sit there and twiddle their thumbs, right? And Reshape the Earth does that. This is just a landfall win card. I honestly would avoid it in other decks. I don't think it does enough. Even if you ramp up every single turn in your green-based deck, so, like, turn 1 is, like, turn 1 turns into 2 mana. Turn 2 is like 4 mana. Turn 3 is 6 mana. And then so turn 4 is 8 mana. Like, if you're on 8 mana on turn 4, you still can't drop this. Well, let's say you get to 9 mana on turn 4. So that means turn 5, you're going from 9 mana to 19, 20 mana. Like, that's pretty cool. What are you doing with it? Okay, maybe if your commander is like, has like a mana sink. If your commander has a mana sink, then yes, Reshape the Earth could help you. If you're just like, plow out a bunch of mana, let's use this, then maybe, but most likely just keep this for your landfall decks. Let's move on to number 18. Oh, I love this card. This is one of my favorite pet cards. So Titaniath Rex is 7 and 2 green for an 11/11 creature dinosaur beast with trample. Cycle 1 and a green, so you discard it, draw a card, and when you cycle Titaniath Rex, put a trample counter on a creature you control. So Titaniath Rex does so much, and there's a reason why it sits here. Okay, number one, any deck that uses, I think it's Ikaruga is how you pronounce it, the hippo from Ikoria, that companion. Titaniath Rex is great because it's a cycle card that you can use early turns, but later on you can cast it for big. It's helpful there. Aside from those decks, which is going to see this card a lot, any cycle deck is going to love this card, so you're going to see points there, right? Other points are coming. It's a dinosaur. People love dinosaurs. You can flip this off any dinosaur deck. It's beast. There's been some good beast commanders lately. You'll see that there. But on top of this, if your commander is a Voltron and you're just looking for a way to win Voltron-wise, Titaniath Rex is going to help you there because you're going to be able to give them trample with this guy. On top of that, if you are a tall deck and you're playing recursion, right? Like a green-black recursion deck, green-black-white, green-black-blue, Titaniath Rex is great because you can give one of your big creatures that don't have trample all of a sudden, and then you can recur Titaniath Rex onto the field to get this 11/11 trampler, and you drew a card. So that does a lot for you. There's just a lot Titaniath Rex adds to your deck. And like a lot of times, the issue with recursion decks is how do I get this card in my graveyard? You can just get this card in your graveyard. You have Reanimate in your deck, 3 mana to get your 11/11 with trample out, plus you give another card for trample. There's a reason this card's sitting at number 18. It's a great card, honestly, and I would highly suggest checking it out. If you're just looking for a simple card that isn't dead, this will never be dead in your hand because you can get rid of it for 2. Even if you don't when it cycles, put a trample card on target creature you control. So you're not going to accidentally put it on a creature your opponent controls. If you don't have a target, it just fails. But you still cycle it. So perfectly fine. I think it's a great card, used for multiple reasons. So let us continue on to number 17, which is Valgavoth Terror Eater. So this is 6 and 3 black for a 9/9 legendary creature, Eldritch Demon. Flying, lifelink. Ward, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you may make cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. Okay, so cool thing is so the way this all works. I mean, as a commander, right? You drop this card for 9. It's 9/9/9. That's kind of the joke, right? They had to do 3 non-land permanents. 9 would have been too much, but it's 9/9/9, which is cool. I love the story. I love Valgavoth in Duskmourn. The story itself is a mess. But here's the thing, okay? So, flying in lifelink is great, okay? Hitting someone and gaining 9 life on, like, hard to block is great. You're 3-shotting people. If you can give this guy 2 extra power in some way, just any of the swords work. There's so many just random things to just give it 2 power that you can toss in there. Now it's 2-shotting people. And that's great. That's where you want it to be. You don't want to 1-shot people with this because that's kind of like losing its touch. 3-shotting people is even fine. Ward, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents, people are just not going to target it. They don't want to do that. There's way too... I mean, unless they're running a token deck and they could lose the cards if they need to, like they can afford to lose it, they're not going to. Okay? If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's... You didn't control would be put into opponent's graveyard from exile instead. So here's the thing. Valgavoth, you might think, well, what about its non-land? Does a ward work with it? It does exile them because they have to do it prior to targeting it, or in conjunction with targeting it, which means that it'll see them. But then how do you cast it? Well, if you counterspell that target or protect Valgavoth in some other way, you will still get to be able to use those. But not if you recast him, because it won't know that those cards are his. And then during your turn, you can play exile cards with it. If you cast a spell this way, pay life instead of mana value. Well, he's giving you that life to be able to cast those spells. So I think he's a fantastic commander. Outside of that, I think he's great in Elder decks. I think he's fantastic in Demon decks. I mean, both those decks, he's a card advantage in. Any interaction with your opponents, screwing up graveyard decks, aristocrat style decks. He also gives you accident life gain, but mainly I think he's here at number 17 because of the let's see, is that 2019, 18, 17, because of he's just a fun commander. He's a good, fun mono black commander, and he's used in Elder and Dragon Demon decks, so he's also great in recursion decks, and people love a good recursion deck. Reviving this card out is so gross because people aren't going to be able to target it. And that protection really, it really grows, honestly. And I like the feeling of it. So it's basically as powerful as Hexproof, but like functions more fun for him. So I love it. I think it's great 17. Let's move on to number 18. Yeah, at number 16. The Dragon. This is 4 in Wooburg for a 10/10 legendary creature dragon avatar. Imminence. As long as the Dragon is in your command zone or the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Flying. Whatever, one or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards. Then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay. If anyone has watched any of my other series, my commander review, he was the first one or second one I reviewed in my commander review series using my point system because he is the second most popular commander of all time. And he's great. I think the Dragon's great. And most of his points come from there. Because here's the thing about the Dragon. He costs too much to cast. Yes, you can cheat him out, but you have to then be in like a 5-color deck. So here's the thing. If you're in a 5-color dragon-based deck and you're not running the Dragon as your commander, that's fine. There's other options. I know people who use the morph guy, I forget his name, the one that makes stuff Wooburg less, because that's very useful in a dragon deck. You can recast your cast your Dragon for like 4 mana, pretty useful. I forget the guy's name, but yeah, in the 99 he's fine. He's like, yeah, okay, if I'm running a 5-color commander deck and he's not my commander, he's in the deck, right? But most of his points come from the fact that he's the second most popular commander of all time. Let's not get this twisted. Go check out that my video back then if you want to know more about my feelings of the Dragon and how I think he stacks up. TLDR, I think he's a great commander. I think he's just a really strong commander for what he does. And he does a lot. So that's where he's sitting here at number 16. Let's move down to number 15. Expropriate. Yeah. Expropriate is 7 and 2 blue for sorcery. Counselor's Dilemma. Starting with you, each player votes for time or money. For each time vote, take an extra turn after this one. For each money vote, choose a permanent owned by the voter and gain control of it. Exile, expropriate. Okay, so as the command zone will tell you over and over and over again, expropriate seems better than it is because the right choice every single time is to just give them a permanent. If you give them a turn, they're gonna win. But 9 mana for 1 extra turn and stealing 3 permanents isn't great. 9 mana for an extra turn or 2 extra turns and 2 permanents is great. 3 extra turns and a permanent, sure. 4 extra turns, you won the game. Okay, it comes out too late to really decide anything else. So I will state, yes, this card can win you the games because a lot of people don't want to give up their stuff. So they will give you that second extra turn, and that's all you need. Those 2 extra turns, all you need. Okay, now. Sometimes you're screwed either way. Sometimes you have like way too good of a card on your side of the field. It's like an 11-11 or something, or like a 15-15, some like huge Eldrazi, and you lose it to expropriate, and he's gonna take his 1 extra turn, and he hits someone twice. That's not you, and that guy's out of the game because he had 30 life, and you feel bad now, but you don't get your guy back, and it just does a lot in that regard, okay? But Expropriate is a win. A win con in a lot of ways. Taking the 3 best items on your opponent's side of the field that each one has, the best item that each one has, plus ramping that much is insane, or plus that extra turn is insane, okay? It's a great card. I think it'll continue to always see play, and it is on the Game Changer list for a reason, okay? It just does a lot. So that's number 15. Let's move on to 14. Phyrexian Trinoforum. This is 9 generic for a 9/9 Phyrexian Golem. When it dies, you create 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature tokens. Okay, cool. So you cast it for 9. It dies. You get 3/3. Kind of doing that worm coil engine. Cool. Here's where everything gets out of control. Encore. 12 mana. Exile this card from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token copy that's that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next instep. Activate only as a sorcery. So at like turn 12 or like 10 or 9, depending on how you're ramping, Phyrexian Triniform is in your graveyard. Okay, either you milled it there, or you discarded it there, or it died while on the field. You get 3 of these guys to swing at your opponents. Okay, 3 9/9s. They all die. You're going to get 9 3/3s afterwards. That's insane. This card is used in Phyrexian decks. It's used in Artifact Creature decks. It's used in Golem decks. It's used in Recursion Sacrifice decks where you like sacrifice a creature but have a way to keep getting it back. This is a great card to sacrifice and get something back. Those cards that say like whenever creature dies, return to the battlefield in mono black, are great with Phyrexian Triniform. Oh, cool, I lost it. Anyway, he's going to come back now. You still need to sacrifice it in some way, but even if you just sacrifice Triniform, it does something. And on top of that, if you get this guy out and someone board wipes, and it's not an exile board wipe, it's just a normal board wipe, right? You get 3 3/3s. So you're not behind the game. Oh no, everyone lost their creatures? I got 3 3/3s, okay? And then you can encore this guy back in a little bit. And then that's going to just be dangerous to all of them, especially if you can encore the turn after someone board wipes. Because then you have 3 3/3s to attack and 3 9/9s. So you're sending 12 damage at everyone, and their board was just wiped. Like, dangerous, okay? I think this is a great card. I think if you build your deck in a specific way, you can really get it, abuse it. But overall, it's a colorless card that just can really help push the win when needed. At like late turn, like, okay, the game's been going on a while. It's like turn 10. Okay, let's just Phyrexian Triniform. Let's get out, hit everyone. They're gonna block it, but we'll take out 3 problems, and then these guys will die, and then I'll get 9 3/3s, and that's gonna probably be enough to be able to push for win with my board setup, right? That's what you're looking at for number 14. I think it's great. Take a look at it, see if it works in your deck. Let's move on to number 13, who very much is similar to Phyrexian Triniform. This is Triple Kate Titan. So this is a Chimera, as you can see. It's like a human, griffin, and a boar. More cat tax. So Triple Titan is 9 generic for a 9/9 golem with flying, vigilance, and trample. That's gross already, okay? You're going to hit people, you can still protect yourself, and you got that trample, okay? But on top of this, Triple Kit Titan dies. You get to create a 3/3 golem with flying, one with a 3/3 golem with vigilance, and a 3/3 golem with trample. So this is another one of those that if you can keep getting it back from the graveyard with recursion spells and sacrificing it, and getting it back and sacrificing it with all these other cards, or the commander does that, you're just going to keep getting 3/3s that are just gross. And if you can keep swinging with it at least once each time because you have haste, that's not bad. There's a lot you can do with Triple Kate Titan, and it's the same exact thing with Phyrexian Titan. Now, which one is better? Well, okay, Triple Kate Titan is more popular. Now, the reason why is most likely because I think Phyrexian Titan comes from Commander Legends, and Triple Kate comes from Commander 2020. Is it 21? Or when did it come out? It came out in what set was this? That's the list. Oh wait. Nope. I don't know when it came out. One of the commander decks. I think it came out a little bit before, so that's going to give it that little like edge. But here's the big thing. Okay? Triple Kate's giving you a flyer, and I think people like that better than Phyrexian Triniform. I think Phyrexian Triniform kind of hits the right spot in like decks that like just want to encore it. But if you're just reduplicate, like continuously sacrificing them, I think Triple K Titan does it slightly better because it's 3 3/3s with effects, and he has better effects because he has nothing. But he has flying, vigilance, trample, so he just does more on his own. So I would give the edge to Triple K Titan, which is why he's sitting at 13 while the other one sits at 14. But it does about the same thing. Anything I said about the last one, this is what this one's doing, okay? Up next is Zakama Primal Calamity. Such a great commander and such a great card in so many ways. So Zakama Primal Calamity is 6, a red, a green, and a white for a 9/9 legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur, Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. And then when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands you control, and then 2 in a red, it deals 3 damage to target creature, 2 in a green, destroy a target artifact or enchantment, 2 in a white, you gain 3 life. So Zakama's a very popular commander, which is going to get a lot of its points, right? You're going to see it as a great commander. It does a lot of that stuff. It's going to, because you can win infinite with this if you have enough extra mana to return it, because you untap the land. So if you can pay enough to return it, a lot of times it's with like a land doubler. So your lands tap for like, you have 9 lands, but they tap for 18. Cast Zakama, untap them, be able to bounce it back. You can get infinite mana that way, and then you can destroy, you can deal 3 damage infinite to all of the creatures, remove all their artifacts and enchantments, and gain infinite life. And then people just kind of go, okay, let's scoop, right? But it's also just a dinosaur, an elder dinosaur. And unlike the other elder dinosaur here, or elder dragon being, I think it's actually an avatar dragon, being the Dragon, Zakama sees play in just Naya decks because it's just a really good 9-drop in those decks. And it sees play in any other dinosaur deck because you can just cheat it out a lot of times in other dinosaur decks, which is useful. So I like Zakama. I think it just sees a little bit more play than the other ones. That was my cat. And it's an interesting card, honestly. I like it. Even like if you're not using that cheap stuff, getting it out and then just kind of like, cool, everything's untapped. I have my 9 mana. I can activate each ability once, if not a little bit more. You can just be like, don't target me because I'm going to kill your creature or your artifact or enchantment, right? And in a lowest case scenario, if someone does go to remove it, you can just use all your mana on that stuff, which is great. Let us move on to number 11, Cavern Horn Dragon. This is 7 and 2 red for a 6/6 creature dragon. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest number of artifacts you control, or number of artifacts an opponent controls. Flying, trample, haste. When it deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token for each artifact that player controls. So a lot of people like to run artifacts, and that's kind of the point where Cavern Horn Dragon comes in, right? Because you know people are going to be running a lot of artifacts, you can probably drop this card. X, where X is the greatest number of artifacts. Okay, so if someone's not running an artifact deck, you might be able to reduce this guy by like 4, right? They're just in a non-blue deck or something. So they're in a non-green deck, so they kind of use artifacts to ramp. And you go like, yeah, okay, 4. That's going to make this guy, instead of like 9, you're looking at like 5. That's a lot better there. And what you're going to get out of this is just someone that can hit someone right away. And they have 4. Cool, let's make 4 treasures now. First turn, I hit them. Pretty good. Hard to block and stuff. So, yeah. Why is it this high up? Again, it's a dragon. It can be cast for cheaper, which people realize, and that kind of makes people like it. It's also just a Tales from Middle-earth card, which are very popular in and of themselves because they're Lord of the Rings cards. So, yeah, overall, I do think that, like, Cavern Horn Dragon is a good card. I think it does a lot, but it really relies on your opponent. So I don't like that it's up here at number 11, but I do think there's a reason it is up here at number 11. And that's just because it's a dragon that does a lot. So let's move up to number 10. Let's get to the top 10 here now. Darksteel Forge, 9 generic for an artifact. Artifacts you control have indestructible. This is classic. It's simple. If you're running an artifact deck, you put Darksteel Forge in it if you have the mana for it. If it's not like an infinite combo deck that's going really fast, like aggressively trying to win, Darksteel Forge just really does exactly what you think it's doing, which is like preventing your opponents from removing your artifacts. And that's what you want. You want to be able to just remove these creatures from your remove the ability to interact with you. And if you're just running like an artifact creature deck, cool, now your creatures can swing without having to worry about them losing them. Oh, you want to just make sure that your combo pieces can't be interacted with because it's like a 5-card combo or something? Cool, this does that. Oh, you want to make your commander indestructible? Cool, do that. It just does a lot for a little. That's kind of where it's aiming at. It's kind of the whole point of Darksteel Forge. The big goal there is just to protect your stuff, and that's what it's doing. It's just protecting your artifacts, and that's kind of where it sits. And that's not bad. Artifact decks are some of the most popular decks out there, okay? So, number 9, you're looking at Apex Altasaur. This is 7 and 2 green for a 10/10 dinosaur. When it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control in a range. Whenever it deals damage, whenever Apex Altar is dealt damage, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So, Altasaur hits the field and just dies, okay? It's how it works, okay? It's 9 mana, to hit the field and go, okay, cool, I fight that creature. Okay. That creature did damage to me, I fight that creature. That creature did damage to me, I fight that creature. That creature did damage to me, I fight that creature. And then I fight that creature, and then that creature. That is what this card is. It's not indestructible, so it will die, okay? Because it will be constantly taking that damage. Why is it at number 9 then, okay? A 9 mana drop that just deals like 10, like might deal or wipe like 5-6 creatures. Well, number 1, it's a dinosaur. So dinosaur decks can cheat this card out. The most popular ones can at least. And that's not bad. Number 2, if you are in a recursion deck, this is a great card to just constantly recur because it dies itself. Like, it removes itself from the field. It hits the field, fights something, keeps fighting, dies. Recur it. Do it again. If you're just like, yeah, I just cheat stuff out and this card's just in your graveyard, cool. Let's just keep recasting it. And recursion decks are very popular. And having a recursion that can, like a one-sided creature board wipe that you can keep recurring easily, that's exactly what you're looking at. And on the plus side, if it does happen to live, cool, now I have a 10/10. That's not bad. So yeah, it's sitting here because of recursion decks and dinosaur decks. Those are the 2 reasons why it'd be sitting here. Anything else, I just don't think it's great. I don't think it's great in like large green decks. Maybe if your commander's cheating creatures out, getting this guy out early to remove a bunch of people's like little 1/1s, and then having a big 10/10 could be useful. So if you're cheating creatures out, this would also be good there. So that's just kind of where it sits at. That's what it's doing at number 9. I don't think it's as good as some other cards, but I see where the popularity comes from, okay? After 9 comes 8, and 8 is Void Winnower. Void Winnower. Void Winnower. Okay. 9 generic for 11/9 Eldrazi. Your opponents can't cast spells with even converted mana cost. 0 is even. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. I don't think anything goes above 22. But you know, evens. Your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana cost. That does hurt a lot of times. So where does Void Winnower come in? What is it doing? Is it good? The answer is yeah. Void Winnower is really good, okay? It's honestly, it is a really good card. I don't like it because, number 1, I think Eldrazi's are overplayed. They're good cards, and I think there's a reason why they're the top level deck. The cards, they're win cons, and that's kind of like the point. And I get it. I love Eldrazi's. I have an Eldrazi deck, right? Run with a fun mono blue commander. And I get it. I understand the concept of running these guys. But for me, the issue with Eldrazi has always just been I think they're overplayed. I think they're like overhyped. And Void Winnower, yeah, okay, you stop half their cards. So a 1-drop or a 3-drop removal spell stops him. A board wipe gets rid of him. Okay, so he's removable, and he doesn't do anything else. He's just meant to stall your opponents out, and it might or might not stall them. It's not perfect, but people like Eldrazi's. So Eldrazi's in these high ceilings, when we get to 10, 11, 12 CMCs, the Eldrazi's are just a lot more popular than other cards because people like the Eldrazi's. And since they like the Eldrazi's, you're really going to see this like high octane, like, yeah, people like to play Eldrazi's. And yes, I'm not saying Void Winnower is bad. Every time it hits the field, it does something. Okay? It really does hinder your opponents and might keep someone open to just hit them. And it is 11/9, so it is going to do a lot of damage to that person who only has even converted mana cost creatures, including tokens. Tokens don't have a mana cost. They're a 0, which means it's even, which means they cannot block with it, which is great. That means they can't block with their tokens and you can get in. And honestly, like, if you're a swinging in deck, yeah, I get it. Void Winnower is great because it prevents them from being able to block with their commander. And if you don't have a way to give them all flying, Void Winnower is a great way to get in, possibly, right? Oh, yeah, they have like 1 or 2 even drops or odd drops, but most of them are even. So, like, that can help. I think it's just a little bit too random, but I can see where people are coming from with them. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I guess it does 2 things, though. It slows your opponents down. It slows your opponents down and allows you to get it. So, that is why it's sitting at number 8. Number 7 is In Garruk's Wake. Great win con here. 7 and 2 black for sorcery. Destroy all creatures you don't control and all planeswalkers you don't control. It's a one-sided board, right? For 9 mana. It's a win con because if you can swing in for game, you can just be like, nothing. Nothing's in my way. let's just drop this card. Count. This is like, stop it or I win. Okay? And it sees play a lot. And it just does that, okay? Like, you have your field, wipe their field, win the game. That's what Garruk's Wake's doing. It's a nice 9 mana, one-sided board wipe. And it doesn't cost a weird bunch of different kind of mana. It's just 2 black and 7. 7 generic, 2 black. So, I think it's great in that regard. I think it's doing a lot. I like Garruk as well, so... doesn't look like it's art. Oh, no, it's art. It has some cool art, this promo. Cool. I love Garruk as well, so it's like in Garruk's Wake, right? Like, oh, he came by, he's walking by, and oh, look, there's nothing left. Yeah, I like that flavor, but I think it's a great card. I think there's a reason why it's sitting at number 6, or number 7. I think that's number 7. 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah, 7. So I think it's a great number 7. Just because it does what it needs to do, very simply. So let's move on to number 6, being Portal to Phyrexia. This card is insane. 9 generic for an artifact. When it's the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures, which is insane. And at the beginning of your upkeep, put a target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's a Phyrexia, it's just another card types. Cheating this card out and just being like, everyone lose your creatures. They lose some of their creatures. I mean, if they're running tokens, it's not that bad. But if they aren't, boom, and then on your turn, if you make a rotation while Portal to Phyrexia is still on the field, they don't have a removal spell for it, you just go, cool, let me get the best card in the graveyard out. Either on my side or on your side, wherever it is, I'm getting it. Let's do it. Phyrexia, Portal to Phyrexia, if this stays up for a little too long, especially if you have, like, Darksteel, this buddy down here, this Darksteel Forge, you're doing great. You're literally just saying, yo, you can't stop me because it's indestructible now. So, Portal to Phyrexia is a fantastic card just to drop and go, boom, board wipe for their creatures. They have to sacrifice 3 each. And then if it stays up, you get more bonus out of it. And that's what's cool. It's a one-sided board wipe, semi-board wipe. It gets rid of 3 creatures on each side of their field. So that's useful. So it's like an almost board wipe for against most decks. But with that, you then also get a way to just start recurring stuff if needed. And that's great. So Portal to Phyrexia, fantastic card. Number here, 5. Yeah, 5. Number 5, getting to the top 5, is Artisan of Kozilek. This is 9 generic for a 10-9 Eldrazi. When you cast a spell, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, Annihilator 2. So, first off the bat, 9 to recur a creature is fine when it's attached to a 10-9 with Annihilator 2. Otherwise, it's bad. Like, if this was just a sorcery to return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, don't. You would never run it. But the fact that it is a 9 generic mana, no colorless needed, just 9 generic, for a 10-9 with Annihilator 2, that's gross. You're going to get in, you're going to make them sacrifice stuff, they're going to have to waste a removal spell on this guy. But he also comes with a buddy? No, please no. Oh, is that Void Winnower? I don't want you to get Void Winnower out. That's not nice. What else? What? Oh, did you just bring Apex Altosaur back? Or Cavernhorn Dragon back? What? It's great. Because it's 9, it comes down later after you know there's a creature in your graveyard. But this just brings something gross back and gives you a really scary creature. So now they have to choose. Even if they remove the really scary thing you just brought back, they still are facing down a 10-9 with Annihilator 2. And you're the one who removed their other creature, so you're going to be the one getting attacked for 10 damage. And you have to sacrifice 2 permanents. Gross. Number 5. Number 4 is Dusk to Dawn. So let's talk about this. Dusk is 2 generic and 2 white for sorcery. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. This is fantastic if you're running token decks or white weenie decks. Perfect way to board wipe. But what does the Aftermath do? Well, Aftermath is 3 and 2 white for a sorcery. Return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. That's great. So you get to board wipe early, get rid of their creatures, start swinging in with all your little weenies that you're running, right? You hit them, boom, boom, bang, bang, pow. Now someone else board wipes you. Cool. Let's Dawn for 5 and return all the creatures with power 2 or less from my graveyard to my hand. And then let's start playing the game. Okay. No, you can't go over there. You're going to click something. So we'll just hold you for a second. Again, my cat. So yeah, I think Dusk Till Dawn is a great card. It's cheating to say that it's a 9. It's technically like a 4 and a 5, but it does count as a 9. I've counted the other ones, so it's great. I think it's a fantastic card. to run in any like low to the ground creature deck, like elf decks that have white in it is great. Any tribal, like low to the ground, wide swinging tribal or token deck will love this. So let's get to number 3. Rise of the Dark Realms, such a great win con. 7 generic, 2 black for a sorcery, just like in Garruk's Wake. Put all creature cards from all graveyards under the battlefield under your control. After summoning board wipes, being able to just go, okay, I'm going to Rise of the Dark Realms and just steal everything. This is like okay, I'm just going to scoop. Like, unless someone else says they have another board wipe, let's just scoop. This is why people exile people's graveyards. Like, no, let's not do that. Now, to be fair, this doesn't require your opponents to have something. You could just mill your entire deck out, cast this from your graveyard with your commander's effect or something, and that'd be fine. But what you are getting out of this is, like, if your opponents have graveyard, or like, actually, I love this card as win con in a mill deck where you mill your opponents out, and then you just go like, Rise of the Dark Realms, haha. That's fun. So it does a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But it does not always win you the game. It does. That's a really, really hot, sexy card, honestly. I love that feel right there. But this one, the original, is just way too cool, honestly. The feel of just the presence of her just like using everything. Like, so yeah, like, you might not win with it, but like, don't cast it if you're not going to win with it, right? So I think it's a great number 3. Let's get to number 2. Number 2 is the Great Henge. No surprise here, right? 2 and 2 white, or 2 and 2 green for a legendary and artifact. This spell costs X to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you can control. There's the expensive one, the party tree. Tap. Oh yeah, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Tap, add 2 green, you gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature is the battlefield under control, put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. This card does so much. So even if your commander is just 3 power, this still brings it from a 9 to a 6 drop, okay? And what it does for you is just insane, okay? Being able to tap for 2 mana is already great. Plus you gain action on 2 life gain, which is great. So number 1, if you're a life gain deck, this is useful. If you're tapping and untapping stuff, this is useful. Whenever a non-token creature hits the battlefield and you control, put a 1/1 counter on it. So if it's a 1/1 counter card, this is great. And if you're a creature deck just casting a bunch of creatures, you're going to draw a lot of cards off of this. And they're going to get slightly bigger, right? So this just does a lot for a little. Especially like if you can get your commander big, or if you're running some big cards in green, dropping this for 2 green, and then it also replaces that 2 green. So it's free is insane. This card's a fantastic card. I honestly, like, it's a proxy card, okay? It's never going to come down in price because the only format that really uses it is Commander as far as I know. And yeah, I just think it needs to be printed more. But until then, proxy it. I think it's a great proxy card. And lastly, if this surprised you, you haven't played Commander long enough probably, and that's Blasphemous Act. 8 generic, 1 red for a sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. This is on a regular basis, just 1 red to cast. And just says 13 damage to everything. Cool. Let's get back to the game. You don't want to kill. You don't want to knock everything out of the way. You're just looking at removing the problematic cards. Oh yeah, Deadpool has one even, and I love that. Oh, I like how Takira's dragon goes back to there. Oh yeah. Other than my protected, like just trying to survive and not. But like, this Deadpool one's so cool. But yeah, it's number 1. A 1-drop board wipe is gonna be top of the place. Cause like, even if they just have like a bunch of tokens out and you're like, I'm not going to be able to deal with those tokens. They've got like 8 of them out. Oh, they've got 8 tokens out, you say. Blasphemous Act time. Yeah. Blasphemous Act is just a good card. I mean, like if you're in red, you probably have it in your deck. It's not too expensive, but even if $2 is expensive for you, again, proxy. It's fine. It's a good card. It's not gross. I think it's just like a perfect balance of just like, yeah, this doesn't win you the game, but it does just clear the field for cheap. which is good. So, as you can see, most 9s were either win cons, fantastic card engines, magnificent board wipes, or some type of like, no, yeah, I guess those are 3. Card engines, board wipes, and win cons. So, yeah, let me know what your favorite 9-drop is down in the doobly-doo, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.